Hi, I'm Wendy, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to initiate and maintain conversations at networking events. Now, does the thought of approaching someone at a networking event fill you with dread? I know it does for a lot of people. Have you ever introduced yourself and then not known what to say next? Or have you ever experienced that awkward moment in a conversation where the conversation simply dries up, it stops? Well, I know a lot of people do experience this. It's not an easy thing to go up to a complete stranger at a function and introduce yourself and then to proceed to maintain that conversation as well. I'm going to give you a few tips to help you with that awkward moment. So the first tip I give you is about mastering the art of the icebreaker. Start your conversations with some sort of engaging, open-ended questions. They're those questions that don't start with an are you or a do you, because that only invites a yes, no, and a rather closed response. You want the conversation to flow. You need to ask those questions that start with the 5 W's. You could ask them questions about their professional journey, a recent project that they might be working on, or their thoughts on industry trends. Use icebreakers that actually relate to the event itself, to the networking function. So this shows that you're genuinely interested in what's going on and that you've taken the time to consider the shared context that's there. It's also a very easy way to start a conversation. So ask if they've attended these types of events before. Have you attended a similar event like this, and how did you find that? What did you get from that? What brings you to this event? So there's some questions you could ask. The next tip is all about active listening. Very, very important. Active, attentive listening and the way you respond to that. Practice active listening by giving people your undivided attention. Don't be distracted by other people in the room. Certainly don't be distracted by your phone. Tuck that phone away right now. You want to be watching them, looking at them with appropriate eye gaze. Be very careful, be mindful of their body language, their voice tone, and their facial expressions as well. The next tip I'm going to give you is all about finding common ground with people. So look for common interests, look for shared interests. Ask whether they are in the same industry. They might have a similar role. They might be in the same industry as you are. You may have a mutual acquaintance or a common challenge, a common issue that you might be facing. Don't be afraid to ask other people how they are handling or tackling a common problem in your job or in your industry. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be all business. Be open to discussing personal and professional matters. Sometimes sharing personal interests can be a little bit easier than talking about your work. For some people, it might be quite the opposite. However, if you do find you have something in common, you can create a stronger bond. You share that bond, and it'll just make that conversation flow a little bit more easily. Whether it's about sports, whether it's about pets, I'm sure you can find something to talk about other than professional issues. So remember, the goal of initiating and maintaining conversations at networking events is not all about just grabbing people's business cards and running away and doing what you will with them. It is about establishing genuine connections, long-lasting, meaningful connections in business with people. So by initiating these conversations with the tips I've given you, maintaining active engagement, maintaining that active listening that you're doing, finding common ground, that all increases the likelihood that you will build meaningful and lasting relationships. Good luck the next time you're out networking.